Hi everyone, I'm Indira. Nice to see you again. We're doing a lesson together with Edward on a video game review. So we're gonna teach you guys how to edit a video game review following AP style tips, readability tips, and other guidelines on fact checking and stuff like that. So welcome in.
I will say too that we say it's a video game review, but a lot of the things we're gonna say here pertain to basically any kind of review, as well as like Indira said, fact checking AP style that goes into every single article type possible, bar maybe opinions to an extent. So very useful information. To start, please put your name in the byline.
Yo,
You have no idea how annoying it is having to go and hunt down your guys' names in the various story lists when I'm building the paper. It's like, oh, who's this by? I don't know.
yeah, because
This is how
if
you
we
guys
need
get paid.
clarification on something, we need to tag you. So and we need to know who put it in there.
So this is by James. Also,
I
so
just want to remind, anything that we edit, any change that we suggest is nothing personal. We're just trying to make your article as readable as possible.
yes. As I want to start off here with I don't know what your opinion is on this, Indira, but I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to use quotes to start articles. I think for reviews and opinions, it's probably okay, but I think it's just a habit we probably shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, especially if you don't really know the context of the quote. Here, the quote kind of stands alone, and there is a brief description after it. But I want to say it's best to not do that and try your best to come up with a good lead. So if you see the second sentence, actually, it's pretty good. Like we could even use that one as a lead.
I actually think we can just swap them. Then I think it's fine.
Yeah.
As what's happening? Give me back control of my computer. There we go. And let's delete that. And now it works better because yeah, that's a good solid sentence. After 5 hit, the Mortal Kombat. We might want to modify that because he says Mortal Kombat in work with me computer. Okay, I'm just gonna have to accept that change so I can see the writing. After a 5-year hiatus, the Mortal Kombat franchise is back with Mortal Kombat 1. Just to give it a bit more what's the word? I guess make it make sense. Like I said, make it more readable. We know the Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat franchise because he says, after Fire Hits, Mortal Kombat is back with Mortal Kombat 1. If you're
Yeah.
not a gamer, that might not make sense.
Exactly. So this adds more like needed context.
Should I add the word video game franchise
Yeah.
again to make it as readable as possible for anybody? Like for example, I'd imagine my mom and dad would not know what Mortal Kombat is
Yeah.
if they read this.
Yo.
Is there anything else we need to fix in the first 2 or 3 sentences?
Let me check the quote again. We're victims of Tarkat. So in the quote, in AP style, when we use quotes, we do have to insert a attribution phrase after the first sentence of a quote. So for example, here, if you read the quote, there's actually two sentences there. So it's best to break those two sentences instead of having those ellipses because it also looks kind of messy. So instead of the ellipses, we're going to delete them and we're going to insert growls, long time, Mortal Kombat veteran Barca. And then after, and should we also include that sentence, Edward, the character has slicing forearm blades?
Yeah, I'm trying to fix.
Or should we after that quote, that sentence could follow.
But
Death is our only.
here's something new. The quotes will not face the correct way. Oh wait. I'm sorry. So what was your question again?
So it says growls longtime Mortal Kombat veteran Baraka. Should we also, after that attributional phrase, do we also include the character has slicing forearm blades? Like, should
Yeah,
that?
I'm thinking maybe we should, just to try to emphasize that this is a character from the video game.
Okay.
Because as someone who
Okay.
doesn't like, I know of Mortal Kombat enough to know that that's like a character. But at first, I was confused if it was a character or is that one of the like developers? Because I know a lot of developers of games give themselves nicknames instead of using their real names. So I didn't know at first, but
Okay.
that is a character apparently.
Okay.
So I think we should leave it.
Okay. And have it follow that sentence that ends with Baraka.
Oh, how do we then? Should we then just put it put that whole sentence at the beginning? We are victims of Tarkat. It disfigures and deliberates. Growls long-time Mortal Kombat veteran Baka. The character has slicing forearms blades that are as sharp as his shark-like teeth. And then put
Yeah.
Death is our only release.
I think that reads better.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Do we want to abbreviate Mortal Kombat 1 as MK1 from now on or no?
I want to say it might be confusing for some people. So, and given that this article is going to go on our website, it's going to trigger more searches if we actually spell it out completely. I want to say instead of MK1. Or, Edward, what do people most commonly refer as? MK1 or Mortal Kombat 1? Would you say would give out more searches?
I think Mortal Kombat's probably fine. And I don't know where, but I feel like I've heard of MK1 or MK somewhere that's not Mortal Kombat. So I think we should avoid that. Because
Okay.
that sounds really familiar, but I can't figure out where right now. And anyone who's Googling Mortal Kombat is going to Google Mortal Kombat. They're not going to Google MK.
Yeah.
So we should use the full word, the full title.
Okay.
And that's a point there. One thing is most of our reviews have always been movies or TV shows, and we quote those. I don't think, and because we quote the titles of movies, we don't abbreviate them, or TV shows. You don't give them acronyms. Now, in current AP style, and I do not like this, but you do not put quotes around video game titles. So Mortal Kombat 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Titanfall, you would not add quotes to those. So does that mean we can abbreviate them? Like, for example, Call of Duty is pretty much always abbreviated COD, COD. Everyone would know what that is.
Yeah. Huh.
Because yeah, you
I don't know.
don't. Because I said I think AP style should quote video games because they are just like a movie or like a book. They are an official like proper noun to title. And we end up in a situation here where the section editor who edited this changed the proper noun to title. They changed the number 1 to WNE, spelled it out, which
Yeah.
technically you're supposed to do with any numeral that's less than 10. 1 to 9, you spell it out, and then 10 and up, you'd write out the numeral. But since the 1 appears in an official title, you leave it alone. Which
Yeah.
I think
It's
quotes would help that. But that's not AP style currently, so we're not going to quote it.
yeah. We're gonna leave it as is, as the creators named it. It's a proper name. So if they use the one, we're gonna and the numeral, we're gonna keep it that way. And AP style says no quotes around video games or other kind of software. So we're just gonna leave it like that.
Do you
Or
quote album
capitalized
titles?
for sure. album titles, music album titles. Yeah, you do quote those.
So everything but video games that's quoted. I need to send an email to AP to Associated Press. I'm gonna send them a strongly worded email. They need to fix that.
Yep. All right. So.
And the next line here. Making Mortal Kombat 1 a reboot is the most interesting aspect of the video game. Some characters underwent minimal alterations, while others were subject to total reinterpretations. It's supposed to be an S right there, right?
Yeah.
According to SharePoint, reinterpretation is correct.
I don't. But
I don't think that's correct. I think it's supposed to be reinterpretations.
Yeah. Especially because it says some characters underwent minimal alterations, and it's plural. So what should follow it also should be plural to make it parallel.
Fire God Liu Kang reformed the universal dimensions to what he believed gave everyone the choice to live freely. As somebody who has not played the game very much, if at all, that makes zero sense to me.
Yeah, that does seem out of place.
I'm assuming that's a character? Hang on, let's see here. Fire God, let's do... This action cannot be performed because the selection is marked as deleted text. Fire God Liu Kang is a Mortal Kombat character. So I say we just cut it?
Yes, because it's out of place. There's not really context on it.
Yeah, it just kind of jumps out of nowhere.
Yeah. And if we remove it, it doesn't really change what follows.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with that change by the section editor.
Perpetual Big Bad Shang Tsung, however, was nerfed from a powerful sorcerer, so we'll take that, to a mere huckster. Shuang is now just a snake oil salesman who is routinely humiliated. Should we add the word character between Shang and Bad and Shuang? Because it is Perpetual Big Bad Shang Tsung. Big Bad what? Villain, boss, character. I feel like we're missing a word there.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, hang on. Shang Tsung, the soul-stealing sorcerer. If that is another Mortal Kombat character. Was nerfed from powerful sorcerer. Shao Kahn, previously the Emperor. Is Emperor supposed to be capitalized? In AP style? Or in general?
I want to say because they're probably referring to a specific character in the game, we should leave it in capitalized.
Yeah. According to a quick, Bing, not Google, but according to a Bing search, Shao Kahn is the conqueror of realms. Shao Kahn is the ruthless emperor of Outworld. Oh, interesting. In the title, emperor is not capitalized. Shao Kahn is the ruthless emperor of Outworld, and Outworld is capital, but emperor is not.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Then you're gonna lowercase it then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. That might be an error, because then in another Mortal Kombat wiki forum, Shao Kahn the Conqueror is the former emperor of Outworld, and emperor is capitalized there. So I'm currently seeing two different quote-unquote spellings of emperor. One lowercase and one uppercase. I feel like since it's just emperor,
instead of the.
Emperor of Outworld.
I feel like not reading the full sentence. I feel like when they say emperor, they're just referring to like that this title that he had, and now he's just
Yeah.
now he's a general. So I actually changed my mind. I do think that we should lowercase it in this case.
Uh, SharePoint also says to lowercase it.
I do want to add something. We already went over this sentence, but the writer talks in that sentence. Some characters underwent minimal alterations, while others were subject to total reinterpretations. Perpetual, and then it jumps to this character, right? I feel like we need like a transition phrase there.
Yeah.
I want to recommend that before perpetual we add, for example. Yeah. And then
Is it okay if I go through and start just, or should I leave all the blue, or should I go through and start accepting all of our changes?
I would say you can accept them, yeah.
Okay. Because the more and more we add, the harder it gets for me to read this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then would you say it's better to before, sorry if I mispronounce it, Shao Kahn, another we add a phrase like another character, Shao Kahn, previously the emperor.
Another character shall. I think that works.
Yeah.
I can't
And then
speak for the other Sekeds or Indira, but personally, when I know some of the writers like to leave little personal comments, like personal favorite. I know I've done it. I don't mind it either way. I'm not gonna put it in the paper. I'm not. Obviously, we're gonna cut it out, but feel free to do that. It doesn't really bug me too much. I know it bugs a couple of the other Sekeds in the past. It has.
yeah.
So, but it's not a big deal. As I click the wrong button. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was gonna add Reptile is another character, right?
Yeah. As it, and this is a weird. So he mentions him here by name, and then the next paragraph is about this character. His reformation looks the best out of all the characters aside from Reptile's design. Does that sentence sound weird to you? His reformation looks the best out of all the characters aside from Reptiles. Should we remove the word redesign? And also, he uses reformation and then redesign in the same sentence. Shouldn't he be like use redesign at the beginning? Because I think both of them are supposed to mean the same thing.
Yeah. So he specifically means the way that they look, like the way that they're dressed.
In a lot of video games, what'll happen is, especially like in massive multiplayer games, like say League of Legends, or I guess there's League of Legends the first games, or games like Mortal Kombat, where characters have like lots of abilities. Characters will get what's called like a what's it called? They'll get an update where they change the character's design or the abilities or whatever, and so it sounds like between the original Mortal Kombat one that came out like in like the 1990s and MK1, which is a reboot of it. They've obviously given a lot of these characters brand new designs, in the lore of the game. Some of them, like poor Shao Kahn, was demoted. Apparently, is no longer the emperor. Um, their lore, their story, so their outfits and their styles change. Um, and yeah, they can be called reformations, redesigns. I forget what Riot Games calls their League of Legends, but they've got a word for it. That's on top of the tip of my tongue. But that's what he means. The character has gone through like a big makeover, for better or for worse, remains to be seen. But that's what he means.
Would you want to replace redesign to makeover then?
I think redesign's fine.
Okay.
That's a good too. But my issue is that he says reformation and then redesign. And I know he means the same thing, but again, the typical reader may not. And even that threw me off for a second there. So I feel like it should be his redesign looks the best out of all the characters aside from reptiles.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming he means reptiles was better, so his redesign, looks the best out of all the characters. I guess aside works. I was gonna say except for reptiles. But we'll change that to redesign. Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to read one more thing up here.
I'm sorry, delete the extra period after reptiles.
Yeah. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Okay.
Let's turn off track changes off.
Okay. Track changes are off. So now we'll just. Okay, so that's actually a reptile whose legal outworld name is Zyoth? Syoth? Sizoth? I'm gonna go with Sizoth. Has a fantastic look and is also now a hero. Originally a villainous ninja with a green color scheme in the second Mortal Kombat video game. Though the years of the character. Okay, so for one thing, I feel like this is just a very long sentence.
Yeah,
we tried to tell you guys, remember, about 1.5 lines, 2 at like the max. So the fact that we've hit 3 here and reading it, I'm pretty sure that classifies as a run-on sentence.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, hang on, sorry. There is a period right there.
Yeah.
It still feels really long though, but I'm slightly wrong.
It has like really long phrases.
Yeah.
So if we like especially the one after originally.
Yeah.
A villainous ninja with the green color scheme in the second Mortal Kombat video game. So.
We do not. Unfortunately, we do not put the game title in quotes like we should.
Yeah.
So do we want to keep Reptile? Do you want to keep this little note about his real name? Because
I think it's like
he mentions it again here, but after that he does not mention Reptile again.
What do you think? As someone who knows.
Well, for one thing, I'll say this is a over 600 word 600 word article. So I'd argue we need to cut down a few words here and there, because that'll take up most of the page. And I don't know what other reviews we have on this page. Or actually, I take that back, because it's gonna be in sports and gaming. Will this be an S&G or A&E? Because it's a review, but it's about a video game.
I want to say sports and gaming.
Not that we've... Okay. So then maybe we need to keep as many words as possible, because it's the only thing going in S&G right now. So we'll have to put this in like a big picture of the like... a
comic strip probably.
Comic strip but also maybe like the cover art of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I see no problem with it. I think it's fine. It's some interesting detail to the character, but at the same time, it's interesting detail that, unless you know the MK franchise, what is the Outworld?
Okay.
It's only ever mentioned in this one time, so I'm assuming the term legal, maybe Outworld is Earth. I'm just guessing. Cause I've only played the games casually every blue moon. So I'd argue removing it just because the fact that it adds context that readers may not know.
Yeah.
And it's never going to be mentioned again. I don't think it's going to be mentioned again.
I agree with that.
I'm going to leave it there just for now because I don't know if he mentions the Outworld again. I
Okay.
don't think he does. I'm going to cut it out. I can come back and add it if I need to. As I keep hitting the wrong button. Reptile has a fantastic look and is also now a hero. Originally, a villainous ninja with a green color scheme in the second Mortal Kombat video game. I might be getting this wrong. Because I know he adds that he has a green color scheme. I have a vague recollection of that as that being one of the main characters of the games, the ninjas. I'm probably talking about the wrong game right now, for all I know. Because I said we mentioned we kind of want to shorten this sentence a little. Should we just cut out the green part and just say, originally a villainous ninja in the second Mortal Kombat video game?
Yeah.
Originally a villainous ninja.
I just have another suggestion for that sentence. The first, it starts off with this structure. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a partial phrase, and then after the comma, it then goes through the years. The character developed to resemble a reptilian humanoid. So it kind of does the same thing where it introduces another phrase. I feel like it's a bit too many phrases.
Yeah.
So for the second, the phrase after the comma, I want to recommend that you move through the years towards the end of the sentence.
The
So
character
the sentence should read,
devolved. Yeah.
yeah,
Through
the
the years.
character, yeah.
Also, I want to add to the writers here. This is always a big one with all the writers here, but this is one of the scenarios where the ly word is meant to be kept.
Yeah.
This is one of the times where an ly word is good. Through the years.
I feel like that way it's a little easier to read.
Yeah.
And here we go again where we're gonna decline the quotation marks because this is a video game.
Oh, then here's that. Okay, so originally James wrote MK1, and Ryan replaced it with Mortal Kombat 1. So as we said, we're gonna use the full title. And again, since it's a proper noun, since it's a proper title, we leave it as the developers, as the writers made it. In this case, they used the numeral 1.
Yep.
And we are once again sadly removing the quotation marks. MK1 gives reptile, the ability to morph between forms, offering the best of both sides of the fighter. This character change reflects the 1995 film adaptation showing both his ninja and creature forms throughout.
Oh.
Okay. And that adds more context. At first I was debating on whether we should remove some of this because I feel like it got a little confusing, but this next paragraph adds context to why it's important that we know he's part ninja, part reptile or something. Other hero characters were also not spared being stripped of their powers. Martial arts movie star Johnny Cage, the hero comedic relief in the 1991's original game, no longer has his green energy projections, so no more Emerald Force balls for the goofball.
It's a comic sentence. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting one because it's kind of, these are some of the tougher sentences to figure out because obviously we don't know what he means fully by this, but that's the sentence that those who play the game will get and will find the humor in. So we're gonna leave it, even though it doesn't make a lot of sense to us. Were these added or removed? Come on. There we go. Okay, they were removed. Okay, hang on. Ryan deleted the second R, but it might need to be there. MK1. No, it's. Wait.
Oh, and corrupted forest.
James spelled it with a K, which would make sense, but when I Google it, I get with a C.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with what Bing told me. I'm gonna change that to a C.
Yeah. I also did a search and it says C.
Yeah. You would think it'd be a K. That makes sense, but I guess not.
Funny.
Come on. I had it. Okay, there we go. We do not put abbreviations. We do not do the parentheses abbreviations.
There, where it says although not as many as Mortal Kombat 11. Although not as many as in, right?
Yes.
I do want to add another thing for that sentence. This is like readability wise. I feel like there's too many, as although not as many as in. Maybe although Mortal Kombat 11 has more. Just to make it a little bit shorter too.
I was double checking here. The Coliseum Beast Pen, that is spelled with a K. Well, that is just poor branding. So what were you saying about the although not as... Okay, that is an absolute mess of a phrasing. I see what you mean.
Yeah. There's too many, like, not as many as in,
Yeah.
I want to say, although Mortal Kombat 11 has
Has
more.
more. Yeah. There are a few impressive fighting arenas, like the Frosted and Tony Stark inspired beach, although MK11 has more, yeah. Why is this? Oh.
And it could be has or offers more or both.
Although Mortal Kombat 11 offers more, I kind of like that. Offers more.
Okay.
No stage lore compared to the billions. No, it's something that James does a bit here. I'm a little confused on, or not really confused on, but the game's a review of Mortal Kombat 1, but he keeps making references to Mortal Kombat 11 here in the second half of it. Should we remove some of those? Like, should we remove this sentence? Because he already implied, that Mortal Kombat 1 offers more. Maybe we can play that offers better ones, and then he goes to single out 2 stages from that one game. But this is a review about Mortal Kombat 1, not 11. So I think we should remove this sentence.
I agree with you.
It's fine that he mentions, I think this reference here is fine, but then going on to now talking about something that makes a different game better.
Yeah. I love that paragraph. I just want to say that it's very descriptive, and I like
Yeah, this is
the
excellent.
insight.
This is very, very good. Yeah.
Very insightful. I like it, and specific too. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mortal Kombat has always been one of the most interesting fighting games.
Is this the real word? Oh, eclectic. There it is. Yes, it is. I've never seen the word spelled before. I thought he was trying to spell electric, but okay,
Oh,
eclectic. Yeah, that threw me off. We're good.
you want to read the next paragraph?
Yeah. Mortal Kombat has always been one of the most interesting fighting games with a wealth of characters and storylines to follow. What really stands out for the last three titles, including MK Mortal Kombat 1, is the story mode. And we're gonna fix all of this again.
Yep.
And I feel like this is another point where, at this point, I think it's probably fine, but maybe we should. The Mortal Kombat franchise has always been one of the most interesting fighting games. Or is that... Because he's referencing a collection of about 10 plus games. Has always
Do it.
has been one of the most, but then he jumps to singular.
I think you're very spot on that. I think you should add it.
The Mortal Kombat franchise has always some of the most interesting fighting games. Is there another better way of saying held?
As
Oh no,
always,
has always
showcase.
produced, or has it showcased? Yeah, anything but produced or showcased. Do you want to go with produced or showcased?
Producers is good. Yeah. For the sentence that follows, what really stands out for the last three titles, including Mortal Kombat 1, we did some comments there for readability purposes.
Three
What
titles.
really stands out for the last three titles, including Mortal Kombat. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. The following paragraph, Edward?
Read it.
Yeah.
The developers were generous when it came to the story, and the results are satisfying, averaging over 7 hours to complete. Adding long lost characters from previous titles was also refreshing, although there are no new additions to the canon roster. That's a perfectly fine paragraph. Nothing really changes there.
Cameo mode is another new addition.
So he says this line, another new addition, but he hasn't mentioned anything new in that same phrasing. Is that I'm assuming he's referencing to all the changes to the characters being new additions. So I think we should just put is a new addition.
Yeah.
Is a new addition where players select
I agree.
a main character. I can do it. I can do it.
Where players select a main character, then also a cameo. That doesn't really make sense to me.
So this is difficult. In some other fighting games, Dragon Ball Fighter Z and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom were the two biggest ones that did this, where you would select multiple fighters, and you'd have one fighter would be your main one, and then you'd have backup fighters so you could summon to help, and they'd make a cameo appearance, and they'd come in and just one punch the enemy, then hop back off the screen. They would just appear almost like just another move that you could do, if that makes sense. And so I'm assuming that's what he means. You pick one fighter, so you pick Reptile, and then what's his name? Former Emperor Shang Tsung, or excuse me, Shao Kahn is your cameo character, and then at one point during the fight, as Reptile, you can hit a combination of buttons and the other character jumps out and does his signature attack or something. I'm assuming that's what it means by the name cameo, but what I know about other fighting games.
Okay.
So, but I'm confused too, because it's like I know, I'm guessing I know what this means, and even I'm completely lost.
Yeah.
But it's tough because this is a new addition to the game, and so for those listening, this would be a point where, when we're this lost on something, we would reach out to the writer and ask for clarification. I don't know what you think we should do right now specifically, because
Yeah.
I think I know enough, because we can also just Google and I can figure out what cameo means and go watch something. But for sake of reference, whatever. Yes, to section editors and to other writers, if you're this lost something and you don't know what to do, reach out to the writer and ask for clarification. Leave them a comment and say, hey, can you expand on this? I don't know what this means.
Yeah. For example, Googling that, I read a sentence that says cameos are the big feature of Mortal Kombat 1 and essentially allow you to summon characters to give you an assist mid combat.
Called it. Also, I'd like to point out, cameo is spelled with a K, not a C.
Yeah.
Can you add that sentence, or can you copy and paste that sentence into the thing, or can you just send it to me?
I can send it to you.
Yeah.
Or I can copy and paste it there
Copy and
too.
paste it there, yeah.
This is what it says.
Yeah. Perfect. Put it, right the cameos. Okay, now so we don't want to just copy and paste this right in. So we need to find a way to paraphrase this into these two sentences. I do like this phrasing though, while also adding flamboyant flair to the matches. I like that. That's another really good. Yeah. That's another really well done sentence. How does that sound?
I like what you added. I do think that we might be repeating main character a little too much. So maybe cameo mode is a new addition where players can summon a cameo character mid-match to assist the main character. The main character
The first
previously selected, or yeah, the first character.
Because then we have the secondary character here, which would be the cameo character.
Or how about this? Cameo mode is a new addition where players can summon a cameo character to assist the main character. Or is that too simplified?
Secondary character that can be summoned mid-match to assist the first character. How does that sound?
I like that.
Because then I just realized we also have cameo in the same sentence twice.
Yeah. I like that, yeah. Mortal Kombat 1 planned for the future.
There will be
Okay.
downloadable characters. What's up?
No, I just had trouble reading that, honestly. Mortal Kombat 1 planned for the future. There will be downloadable characters. Okay, I'll let you read what follows.
There will be downloadable characters from other mediums that will join in the fun. Omni-Man from the animated Invincible show and Homelander from The Boys are included. Both shows are on Amazon Prime. Do we need the both shows on Amazon Prime thing?
No. And these are titles of
Movies.
animations,
These are titles
movies,
of
so
TV shows. So now these would be put in quotes.
exactly. And is Peacemaker a film too? Or just a character?
Oh, DC
Okay.
Peacemaker. In this case, he's talking about the character, not the show that he would come out of, and I don't think he has a show.
Yeah.
So here's a new game mode titled. Both those are perfectly fine. I don't know why the section editor changed that. Called, titled, same thing. Which do you think sounds better though? What should we keep?
So I do wanna add that Peacemaker is a TV series.
It is. But
Yeah.
so in here it says DC's entry of Peacemaker also made the cut, so he's talking about the character.
Yeah, you're right.
Because he's on the man from the animated series Invincible and Homelander from The Boys. So if he was saying, Peacemaker from the show, Peacemaker. But he's not saying, he's just saying the character.
Okay. Good call. I like it. Yeah. So we're in the following sentence. A new game mode.
Yeah.
Titled Invasions.
Titled, called. I mean, both are perfectly fine there. I don't see an issue with either word.
Yeah.
Which one do you think we should go with?
I mean, if it's titled Invasions, then it should probably be a proper name. So
called Invasions? And then wouldn't Invasions then be capital?
Yeah, Invasions should be capital. If it's titled.
Mortal Kombat 1 Invasion mode. Invasion mode is capital, according to a Bing search.
Yep.
So we go with the word titled then?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with Calster title, but Invasion should be capitalized though.
I've already capitalized it.
Yeah. I feel like called though sounds better, like the writer had it though.
Yeah. So go with that?
Yeah. Let's go with what the writer had.
Okay.
Sounds like more natural, honestly. Okay, so where are we now? Invasions is an upgrade.
Yeah.
To the crypt because it allows the player to explore three-dimensional maps of the fighting arenas.
The linear fashion.
That reads fine to me.
The linear fashion is also easy to follow as it was disorienting and induced motion sickness. That sounds miserable.
Yeah. And again, we're gonna reject that it's a proper name, so we're gonna keep the digits and no quotation marks.
Sadly.
Mortal Kombat 1 was adapted for multiple gaming consoles. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, XS, Nintendo Switch, and Windows. There should be a comma after Switch. And now we're at the PS5 version looks good. although the graphics and characters lack the depth and texture brought to the previous installment. That reads fine to me.
Yeah, all of this was good.
Okay. Mortal Kombat 1 is a blast, although it fails to live up to the game's predecessor. Time will be the deciding factor if it can ever surpass Mortal Kombat 11. And again,
Want to add here real
guess
quick,
what we're gonna
guys?
change in this sentence?
Yeah, I want to add here, guys. Punctuation goes in the quotation mark.
Yeah.
As Dr. Bjork once said, we are not Germans. It goes in the quotation mark.
Yeah. I'll let you finish off.
The previous game benefited from 5 years of multiple game patches, fixes, updates, and new levels and characters.
Ooh.
What's up?
There's an AP tip there that we need to go over.
Oh, I see it. I want to go over that first because I'm going to delete this. So one thing here, first off, is that I don't know how to. This is the thing where I think we need to ask James to rewrite the last paragraph, or the last sentence, because I don't know if we can't close out his article for him. Because he does end his review of one game talking about a whole different game, and then he makes this weird, what'd you call it, comparison. He acknowledges that Mortal Kombat 11 had 5 years of patches, fixes, updates, content. Of course, it's going to be a better and bigger game. It had 5 years of development time. So he's not wrong that, yeah, this sentence here that it feels I mean, it's not going to because it's a brand new game. So I don't know what to do about this because he's not wrong, but it's just like a really silly point to take because, yeah, of course, the thing with. Yeah, if we're like, I don't know, if I go racing bikes against a Tour de France cyclist, of course I'm gonna lose. The Tour de France cyclist is a world class cyclist. I just cycle for fun. Of course, putting a game with barely a few weeks, a couple months of development against 5 years of development isn't gonna win. So I don't know what to make of this last paragraph.
Honestly, I feel like if we switch the two sentences, maybe, Mortal Kombat 1 is a blast, although it fails to live up to the game's predecessor, Mortal Kombat 11.
Do that.
The previous game benefited from 5 years of multiple game patches, fixes, updates, and new levels. Time will be the deciding factor if Mortal Kombat 1 can ever surpass. Yeah.
Man, that's one way to fix it.
Yeah, I feel like now it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Do we need more context?
If Mortal Kombat 1 will ever. Time will be the same factor. If Mortal Kombat 1 can ever?
Yeah, can ever.
There we go.
Like, time will be the deciding factor. If Mortal Kombat 1. I actually think will ever to keep it the same in the same tense.
Yeah.
Because
then whoever surpasses Mortal Kombat. Yeah, sometimes this editor forgets how to write in English.
But how does that sound now?
I still do not like just the concept of this last paragraph, but this makes it a lot more readable and a lot better, and it ends it on a positive note. As opposed to ending it on, oh, the previous one had all these cool things that this one hasn't had yet. So this makes it a lot better to read. I still don't agree with the whole paragraph, but this works a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you want to cover that AP tip that's now in the second sentence?
Yeah, so looking at the second sentence, the previous game benefited from 5 years of multiple game patches, fixes, updates, and new levels and characters. So in AP style, the general rule of thumb is that for numbers 1 through 9, we spell them out completely. So we're not going to use the 5 numeral, we're going to use 5. Spell it out. If it were 10 years, then we would use 1, 0. But yeah.
Or so like right up there in the case of again going back to like the Mortal Kombat one needing the numeral and not O and E. Same thing. PlayStation 5 would stay 5 because that's the official title of the game console. The number 5.
Exactly. Exactly. There's different rules. It might seem like they intersect, but yeah, you have to know a lot of rules. But yeah, I love this example because it covered both cases. So
Yes.
yeah, but yeah, that's all we have. I think you did a nice job, James.
Excellent review, James.
Yeah,
Very well done.
righty.
All right. Hope you guys
You won.
enjoyed this lesson.
Yep. Have fun.
Bye.